Graceland shimmers like a pop culture cathedral. 600,000 pilgrims stream through the Memphis mansion every single year, snapping selfies beside the white Corinthian columns and clutching souvenir scarves that promise a brush with immortality. Yet for all the velvet ropes and specialty tours, a single carpeted staircase stops every visitor in their tracks. Guards stand watch. The rope never drops. No museum pass, no VIP badge. Not even a former U.S. president's polite request has cracked that barrier. Why? The second floor, Elvis Presley's private realm, was padlocked hours after he was found unresponsive on August 16, 1977, and it has stayed frozen in time for nearly half a century. His pajamas still hang in the closet. A half-read spiritual text lies on the nightstand. Family members insist the space remains exactly as he left it, and they guard it with the devotion some reserve for holy relics. Imagine knowing there is one more chapter to the king's story, a chapter sealed behind a standard issue doorknob, and realizing you may never read it. That tension is what keeps the Graceland myth beating long after the last encore. Tonight, we follow the velvet rope as far as it will go, sift through the rare eyewitness accounts, and untangle the wildest theories. By the end, you'll decide whether the lock should stay or whether some doors beg to be opened. But first, step downstairs with me. The contrast between public spectacle and private silence is where this mystery truly begins. Walk through the front foyer and you're immediately swallowed by Elvis's larger-than-life taste. Lime green shag carpeting in the jungle room, mirrored ceilings over a neon-lit bar, gold and platinum records stacked like armor along trophy walls. It feels loud, even when the audio tour headset is your only soundtrack. The house markets itself as America's most intimate theme park, and the numbers prove it's second only to the White House in visitation. Yet, less than 20 feet from that cha-cha green carpet, the staircase of legend rises in near silence. Tour guides talk around it, scripts avoided. Visitors lean on the banister for photos, sensing the hush the way you feel a storm before it breaks. The louder the applause downstairs, the quieter the man upstairs became. A paradox that only deepens the allure. And that contrast beckons us upward. Toward the night, everything changed. In the early hours of August 16, 1977, Elvis played his piano, wandered upstairs, and never came back down alive. Officially, the 42-year-old superstar succumbed to cardiac arrest, though chatter about exhaustion, prescription cocktails, and the crushing weight of fame has never stopped. Family grief turned to action within hours. Priscilla Presley ordered the second floor sealed, personal effects undisturbed, entry restricted to blood relatives, and a single archivist. The decision wasn't a publicity stunt, it was a last stand for privacy. By locking Elvis's bedroom, bathroom, and office, the family ensured tabloids could never photograph the scene where stardom met mortality. If grief begged for time to stand still, the padlock granted it. But in pop culture, any no entry sign may as well read "Peep Here," and curiosity only grew. When former President Bill Clinton toured Graceland in 1989, he expected the White House treatment. Instead, security stopped him at the first landing. Even the leader of the free world could go no farther. Elvis's rule, no visitors upstairs, remains unbreakable, handed down like royal decree to each new security team. Motion sensors, keypad locks, and an unspoken code of honor protect the threshold. Actress Riley Keough, Elvis's granddaughter and now Graceland's sole trustee, calls the arrangement the strangest hotel in the world. On holiday visits, the family wakes up in Grandpa's bedroom but must lurk silently until the first tour ends. If we don't sneak out before 9 a.m., we're trapped, she laughs, just waiting for the tourists downstairs to finish lunch. And yet a handful of outsiders have crossed the line. Nicolas Cage, lifelong Elvis devotee, and for 107 turbulent days, Lisa Marie Presley's husband, was granted a brief look. He later called the upstairs surreal haunting, refusing every request to describe what he saw. Baz Luhrmann reportedly viewed the space for reference while prepping his 2022 biopic, memorizing every detail in 20 frantic minutes because cameras were forbidden. Guards collected his phone, handed him a notepad, and watched each stroke of his pen. Then there's the stranger-than-fiction tale of influencer Chewy Thompson, who claims a costume staffer whisked him upstairs mid-tour, only to threaten legal action if he spoke. Thompson refuses interviews to this day, leaving a vacuum rumors rush to fill. When witnesses keep secrets, imagination runs riot, especially around Elvis. The vacuum behind that locked door has sucked in every rumor imaginable, especially the ones about family. For decades, Priscilla Presley brushed aside tabloid claims that Elvis fathered children during whirlwind tours. But a 2024 Orlando civil suit, filed by her former business partner Brigitte Cruz, yanked the lid off again, insisting there's already a secret grandchild living quietly in Florida. Court papers describe a now-adult male, allegedly born in the late 1970s, shielded to protect inheritance shares. Priscilla's countersuit called the story extortion, yet the filing sparked a fresh wave of #SecretPresley on TikTok and dragged the estate back into headlines it can't monetize. Those papers aren't the first to demand answers. Since 2010, 4 separate claimants, from an Arkansas nurse to a German session singer, have petitioned Tennessee courts for DNA samples sealed inside Graceland, a razor with dried stubble, a tuft of hair from a 1972 barber kit, even sweat-stained karate gis said to be boxed upstairs. All 4 cases were dismissed when the estate argued that releasing genetic material would violate Elvis's post-mortem right to privacy. The denials only deepened conspiracy chatter. If the tests would clear everything up, podcasters ask, why fight so hard to stop them? Medical mysteries swirl just as thick. 11 prescriptions were logged in Elvis's name the week he died. None appear on the sanitized autopsy that cites a myocardial infarction. Insiders whisper that the upstairs desk still holds the original toxicology report. 1 page, 12 substances, 3 flagged potentially lethal. Archivists never confirm or deny, but a former Shelby County coroner told Radar Online that a copy absolutely exists and is not where people think. Then there's the file cabinet nobody photographs, an olive green 4-drawer relic tucked beside the upstairs office safe. Staffers call it Fort Knox Jr. Rumor says its bottom drawer is stuffed with unsent letters, anguished drafts to first love Dixie Locke, apologies to daughter Lisa Marie, and long rants about Colonel Parker's gambling debts. One janitor claims a 1982 electrician glimpsed handwriting so angry the ink cut through the page. True, unknown. But myth thrives because the family refuses to digitize a single sheet. Layered atop the paperwork legends are objects fans obsess over. The Last Record, a pressed but unreleased gospel demo supposedly left on the turntable. The DNA razor, gilded, monogrammed, and still flecked with whiskers. The karate gi with a torn lapel, said to match bruises EMTs documented on Elvis's final day. No tour guide will confirm any of it, yet every denial feels strategic. Every no comment feeds the idea that the upstairs isn't just a mausoleum, but a vault that could rewrite rock and roll history if ever unsealed. When the last shuttle bus sputters down Elvis Presley Boulevard and Graceland slips into darkness, the story goes, the king clocks back in. Security guard Arvell James worked overnights for 6 years. He swears the quietest hour, 3:13 a.m., isn't quiet at all. You hear it start near his bedroom, heel-to-toe steps, slow, pacing, 32 beats, the exact length of Can't Help Falling in Love before the guitar solo. Arvell once radioed another guard beneath the floorboards. The colleague reported identical footsteps overhead, even though motion sensors read 0. Management logged the incident as acoustic anomaly and told Arvell to drop it or swap shifts. Visitors spill similar tales on social media. A 2023 TikTok clip with 4.6 million views captures a faint E major chord drifting from the ceiling during a summer night tour. Guides attribute it to ambient speakers misfiring. Commenters freeze the waveform and claim it's a live strum, slightly out of tune like Elvis favored during late-night rehearsals. Paranormal teams beg for access. The estate rejects every request, citing insurance. Still, stories leak. The Suit of Smoke. A housekeeper cleaning the foyer mirror sees, in the glass, a hazy figure in a nudie suit glide down the upstairs hallway, then vanish. The Locked Drawer. An archivist opens a bureau in Elvis's dressing room. Air pressure drops, hall lights flicker. Drawer slams itself shut so hard her thumbnail splits. The Elevator Echo. Late on storm nights, staff claim the basement cargo lift activates by itself, rising to the second floor, doors parting into pitch black, and staying open exactly 8 seconds before descending empty. Skeptics blame old wiring and tour bus vibrations, but even they concede one oddity. Sounds never drift downstairs while tours are underway. They wait until the mansion is empty, as if the upstairs performs only for a private audience of insomniac guards. For fans, each unexplained creak is proof the king never left. For the Presley heirs, it is one more reason to keep the door locked. Why invite ghost hunters when the enigma alone sells out Elvis Week hotel blocks a year in advance? The Elvis industry remains lucrative, more than $80 million in annual licensing, and that stake grew messier after Lisa Marie's sudden passing in 2023. Riley Keough emerged from a tense court fight with full ownership, pledging to protect Grandpa's story, even while fending off a bizarre 2024 foreclosure scheme later ruled fraudulent. Gen Z Presley fans debate whether Riley might someday lift the ban, perhaps via 3D scan or limited edition hologram tour, but insiders hint she'll double down. The mystery is a greater treasure than any merch line. In an age when influencers live stream dermatology appointments, Elvis's locked bedroom feels almost radical, a relic of a time when privacy wasn't a negotiation. Stand at the foot of that staircase one last time. Your ticket grants you everything Elvis shared with the world: the jumpsuits, the pink Cadillac, the shattered TV set that once silenced Robert Goulet's croon. Yet the thing you remember most is the place you're not allowed to see. A single hallway, 2 turns, 10 paces, yet it might as well be the moon. Why does that small denial loom so large? Maybe because we're drowning in disclosure. Stars live stream dentist visits, influencers monetize breakups in real time, and privacy feels as out of date as vinyl. The upstairs at Graceland whispers a countercultural truth. Some rooms keep their magic precisely because they stay shut. Could the family fling the door open, live stream a 360 tour, auction the pajamas? Absolutely. And they'd clear the estate's debts before lunch. But mystery is the rarest commodity left in entertainment, and Elvis understood market value better than anyone. He once told a reporter, "The image is one thing, the human being is another. You gotta keep a little bit for yourself, darlin'." In 1977, he protected that little bit with a key. In 2025, his granddaughter guards it with iron resolve and a modern alarm system. So picture tomorrow morning, the lock clicks, cameras roll, the world finally sees the carpet fibers where Elvis took his final steps. Satisfaction would be instant and gone by dinner. The internet would move on to the next opened vault, and something irretrievable would slip away: the delicious ache of not knowing. That's why the staircase matters. It isn't just wood and carpet, it's a boundary reminding us that even legends own parts of themselves we can never stream. And maybe that boundary, not the gold records, is Elvis's last and greatest hit. Now I hand the mic to you. Would you cross that threshold if they offered the chance? Or should the last verse of this rock and roll epic remain unsung? Drop your take in the comments, share the mystery with a friend, and smash subscribe. Because next week, we're prying open another celebrity secret, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's behind that door.